Currently, I'm working on a 2D Metroidvania Toolkit, and I want to start sharing off what the current state is and start letting people know about it. I plan to make this like free. I have the code like on GitHub repo. The toolkit is made with Unity's low-level physics API, so it requires Unity 6.3, and I have no UGUI in it. It's only UI Toolkit, and there's no rigid bodies, there's no box colliders or any type of collider at all. It is using the low-level API's physics shape and physics body. So I actually wrote my own components for it. So for example, if I actually go to my like player right here, you'll notice there is no colliders, no rigid bodies, no nothing. I actually wrote my own custom physics shapes to actually work with it. And the reason why is a couple different things, and one 64-bit layer mask. So normally you're kind of limited with how many layers you can have with Unity's game object layer stuff. With the API I'm using, I actually have a full 64 layers, and you can also set the layer as an enum flag. So basically what that means is instead of this current thing, it's currently set as like just enemy. What if I want to have it where it's an enemy projectile? Well, I can do that. So one of the benefits is also being able to say, okay, this is not only just an enemy layer, this is also a projectile layer. So you can actually do filtering between objects that are on projectile layers, but you can also say, make sure this projectile is also a friendly projectile that only hits enemies, and then if it's like enemy projectile, make sure it only hits like friendly people and so forth. So you can also do stuff like that. I also have it where same thing. You can also have like you can also control what makes contact with it. So currently like just a player, but you can do a few other things. You can also choose like whatever layers you want, and you can even create like a group indexes. So like groups and like objects in group 1 only affects group 2. For anybody that's curious, like why you do that, well, imagine you have I can't remember what the name of the Legend of Zelda game is. There's like a Legend of Zelda game where you could like go into the walls and you can become like a portrait. Well, now you're no longer like affecting the same group like wall physics as the stuff that's not in the walls. So you can do that. So you could literally make it where like you could have like a game mechanic where you turn into a shadow, and now like the shadows on the walls are now the physics and so forth, instead of like the objects that are off the wall. So that's one use of group index. But there's a few other things. I basically also made it where there's actually a base component called SF shape component. This is like the base class. If anybody's seen like the Collider 2D class, this is basically my version of it. But it uses all low-level physics, so it uses burst compiled code, it uses native list, and I'm working on getting some C# jobs in there for better performance. And it just allows me to do a lot of customization. If anybody ever wants to extend and create their own custom physics shape, they can just inherit from this class, and they can actually override a few different methods, like create like body shape geometry, create shape geometry. Create body is basically allows you is actually where you create like the what would be known as the physics body, which is the equivalent to like the rigid body. And for example, like this. Might actually have the custom tile map shape that actually uses it. So you can see here I'm actually like overriding it, and I'm actually using like a native list to actually create my own like a custom like tile map shape to work with like collision. And because I'm using like the batch code and I'm using like a native list, it's very high performance. And I've already have some API that's supporting the new API in 6.4. If you're going to use 6.4 in rule tiles, whenever like the base rule tile class currently has a crash in it. So you're using not in my code, but like in Unity's actual code, whenever it refreshes, like whenever it calls like refresh tile preview, it can currently crash if you're using NTIDs. So just a warning on that. But anyways, so you can create your own custom collider shape. All of the methods for that is actually virtual, so you can override them. I even have a way you can create like custom like tools and stuff. Thank you to Melvin or Mel May. He's the 2D developer that created the little physics stuff. He actually has an example of like tool stuff. I kind of modified it and made my own little version of it, but he's the one that made the original like implementation in like a little demo thing, and I just made my own way of it. So, but you can create new shapes. You can even create custom editor tools for the physics shapes. For example, like if I actually go and I actually select this guy, I can actually offset the rectangle shape, and I can also change the size of it in scene. So you can actually like override the classes I created for your own custom shapes. For example, you could create a gear shape that actually has a gear motor, rope and pulley. Unity, Melvin also created the demos for that. So there's actually a demo project that the person that created the little physics that was implemented inside of Unity 6.3, he actually has a lot of demo projects to show how you could do that. But if you guys want to, you can create your own little like custom physics shapes. For example, if you've ever played like Ori and the Blind Forest or any game that has like a windmill where like there's 4 platforms that rotate around, you can actually do that, and it'll be a single shape, like a single physics shape component. So you can do stuff like that as well. The Metroidvania kit doesn't just have collision and stuff like that. I also have a room system. So actually like go into scene view. Once I click play here, you notice that my rooms actually dynamically load. So when I get here, I actually have a room database system, so you can actually create rooms and you can actually tell, say which room connects which room. And there's also room entering events. So once I enter this room, it'll automatically spawn enemies and so forth. And you'll see that currently I have the attack disabled, and just for a demonstration, but wanted to show like there's also the toolkit already has like some AI states for like patrolling and following the player, stuff like that. Despawning, respawning. I'm currently updating the camera confiner. Unity's confiner 2D for Cinemachine only works with like the box cutter and stuff. So I'm actually working on a custom little physics version of that. Also got some work in progress, like enemy A-star pathfinding. Do note, reason why I say it's a work in progress, as you see, I need to finish it where like the physics shape actually follows the A-star transform. So that's why I'm saying that one's work in progress. Another thing is I do got to finish upward slope physics. Downward slope physics is pretty good right now. I just need to improve like the upward slope. Also got a built-in state system built into Toolkit, so you could create custom power-ups, like for example gliding. As you see, like whenever I start gliding, I actually start to like slow down my fall, stuff like that. So I do have a good amount already in the like Toolkit, and I'm still working on adding more. And I'm gonna actually go in here. So good at graph. Here, actually, that's pretty good for showing off like the room loading. As you see, room loading system. I'm working on the data editor. At the current moment, it's early work in progress. There is a very early data editor, so you can actually like create characters, create item pickups. So for example, if I actually go to like the item pickup here, if you notice, I currently have the item set to ID 4. So if I actually click play, and if I actually pick up this item, so when I enter it, I actually can go to my inventory and you'll see, oh, hey, I actually picked up the item. So, and you'll see like I have the Crimson Equinox and stuff in here as well. So I do got a work in progress data editor for items, characters. This really needs a lot of work, but for now, I just want to focus on getting the physics and stuff done. There is work in progress dialog tools as well. So if I actually go, let's actually go to dialog database. I'm going to go to dialog graph. I'm going to actually go and I'm going to just go to the, actually, wait, I need to move this to the correct path. I'm going to just say Thanatos. So I actually can create like a new conversations and so forth. And I can actually do this and actually create new dialogue nodes. So there is a dialogue system that's a work in progress. This is actually using Unity's dialogue graph toolkit that was introduced in 6.2. So this is early work in progress too. This will probably be updated, not next update, but the update after, because I want to focus on like some inventory and UI stuff. But you can add like a few different things. I got to rework a lot of this whenever I get to it and so forth. But yeah, so work in progress. And you'll notice that whenever I hit save, it actually creates a runtime ready conversation object. There's so many changes I want to do to that, but I'll get there. But just want to show like there is actually like a work in progress like dialogue system as well. Work in progress data editor. There's also this is probably the most work in progress thing I currently have. So warning, I honestly would not even try this, but I figured I'd show it off. Something that I'm planning on doing. Let's actually grab, I'm currently trying to add a sprite support. So let's actually grab a environment real quick. Let's go to Clock Tower. So do you see I have a 2D sprite editor. Now why is this why is this different compared to like a Unity thing? As you see, I could actually select multiple sprites. And not only can I select multiple sprites, so I can actually open like animation tool thing. Just a super early work in progress again, but I can actually I can actually select multiple sprites, create an animation clip from those sprites. So I can actually like grab these. I can actually say gear rotation. And I can actually say, okay, this is, let's just say 6 frames per second. Then I'm going to just say create animation clip, and boom, it actually created the animation clip for it. So I can also do bulk renaming. So like you'll see gear platform 0 and so forth. I can actually select them. I could say, let's just say gear test. Then if I actually hit gear test, if I actually, I did not mean to actually say no. Yeah, like I said, early work in progress. Oh, I'm gonna have to like work on that. Anyways, I'm working on making it where you can actually like bolt rename. This one's super rough, but I just want to also show like something that I'm going to be working on. I'm working on that a little bit as I go. Also working on entity ID tiles. So for anybody that doesn't know, Unity does have entity ID tiles. And what I mean by that is they actually like grab entities from like the back. So if I actually go to my toolkit, I can actually I can just search entity. This only works in 6.4, just heads up. So this is only Unity just added this support in 6.4. So if you're in 6.3, this is not supportive, but you can actually use entity base entity IDs to actually work with tile maps, and it is a huge speed up performance. I'm working on this currently. You will notice that yes, I'm literally having to use pointers and actually grab directly from memory address positions and so forth. But the performance is so good. Once Unity fixes the crash, because like I said, there is actually a crash right now inside where refresh tile preview is, and it's already been reported. Then like I'll be safe with pushing this up. But this has been like I've gotten a huge like a performance improvement, like a between like my castle area with 10,000 tiles. I actually got like a 2.2 like fold increase in performance just using the entity IDs. I could probably get this a lot faster. Basically, the new tile system that's being added is literally meant to work with only C# jobs. So like the new tile update that's coming in 6.4, tiles are literally created with C# jobs purely. But yeah, so just want to show that off. That's also work in progress. There's a lot of work in progress stuff. This first devlog. It's not a very like organized devlog. I just want to show off stuff and say like, hey, this is something I'm working on. If anybody has any feature requests, tell me. It's a 2D Metroidvania Toolkit. If anybody has any feature requests or anything, please tell me. Like I said, I have an item selection system. I have that I need to improve like inventory UI and stuff like that. And all the code is going to be literally just up on GitHub. Also, I do have documentation. Yes, I actually have been trying to like add documentation. So I actually do have like a documentation website. This is actually a website. And I'm working on a manual as well on how to do things. So you can actually like go through. And so this is like a physics controller 2D. This is the base class. You can actually see what classes it inherits from. So I can actually like go up and down of like inheritance. You can see like inherited members and stuff like that. I need to add more like information and so forth for this. But yeah, so you can even go see, go one by one. I gotta merge some of the namespaces because some of the namespaces was like originally like just physics. Now I'm changing it to like physics low level to show that it's using low level API. But there is a work in progress. Documentation. You'll see got ability system, combat system, audio system is what I also that's going to be part of the next update as well. Technically, audio system does like work. I just want to add more stuff to it. I actually just have it like muted whenever I was like in game mode, but I actually do have like a actual like audio system and so forth. Don't know how loud that is. I hope that's not too loud, but yeah. Also working on a toolbar. So currently I only have like a couple buttons just to like quickly like grab settings. I love how the settings open up on my left monitor and not the same monitor as the middle one. Anyways, you guys get the idea. So yeah, so it's a pure UI toolkit, low level 2D API Metroidvania toolkit with burst compiler, native list support for performance, and some places where possible C# jobs. This is just the first test. I haven't even gotten to like the first like here's a first public usable like fully thing. I mean, obviously it has enough stuff that you can actually use it. There's a spawn system, obviously room system, work in progress projectile stuff, state machine system, UI module for creating UI. There's a lot of editor stuff for like simplifying like creating data stuff. So like for example, just to show this off, if I actually go into my editor code real quick, there's actually a lot of data editor stuff. So I actually created like a simplified way to actually do like a loot. Let's actually go to, if I can actually find, oh, I forgot. I've been moving stuff around, so my apologies. There we go. Data list view. I made it where literally if you want to add like a new tab to the data editor, so I also made it where you can customize the new data editor or like customize the data editor and add your own stuff. So if you want to add a new tab here, you literally just inherit from data list view, and you can actually just pass in whatever thing you want. So for example, this is it. You'll notice UXML element, and this is it. So by just inheriting from data list view, you just pass in what type of database is actually filling up the list right here, and then you just pass in the main data types inside of that, or the base class for data type. So character DTO is the base class for like the character data information, and that's literally all you got to do to create like a new like list element for this. All right, video's getting 20 minutes. There's a lot more. I mean, I didn't get to loot table, the work in progress level up system, the quest system. It's a work in progress. I'm going to focus on finishing the physics stuff up, creating scene tools for physics. Then I'm going to be working on like UI stuff, certain UI things. And also after that, I'll work on like the camera system and also working with a few things. I also have I've been testing out magic system that actually edits the terrain. One of the reasons why I created my system, I wanted a interactable environment. So I actually am working on like, I have ice magic that actually adds ice pillars and changes the collision of the ground and stuff like that. Without like causing any like lag or anything like that. It's nice. So you can actually like freeze water, melt water, stuff like that. You can burn plants and everything, and so forth. But yeah, 20 minutes is long enough. I will do a actual dedicated video per like feature once I get the current stuff that I've been updating stabilized, and they should like those videos should be less of a rant and more of like actual like to the point. This is something you do. But I want, if anybody wants to request features, if anybody has any questions, either ask me on YouTube. I'm going to make a Unity forum post to also take feature requests and so forth. You know, I'm going to tell you now, some of the code is not is kind of just there to work. I need to improve it. So I will be improving like how the code looks and is organized and all that kind of stuff as I go through, so forth. But thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic week, year, whatever. And see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for your time.